Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation by AUTOEMOTIONAL for, of course, the iconic Land Rover Defender 110. This 1987 example, as you can see here, does need a bit of TLC, but it does hide a bit of a very special surprise. The vehicle, as you can see, is presented in the country guise, and obviously the straight linear lines really does make for a vehicle that is unmistakable. Despite its maturing years, it's really got a very strong following throughout the globe, to be honest, and especially here in the UAE, where it's now coming of age and of prominence. The vehicle, as you can see, has a couple of cosmetic issues that definitely do need addressing, but underneath seems very rock solid. Hopefully the camera work doesn't hide any of the issues that do need addressing. Things like this little grille that's broken, so cheap and easy to replace and upgradable as well. You've obviously got some rusting issues that are beginning to come through, but the bodywork is actually quite solid. The rust does seem to be more or less superficial and isolated to a few areas, which is obviously a very good thing. The roof there, again, in quite a good condition, all the original glass and everything is intact. The County Edition being quite a desirable car. Locks are all strong. The car itself, you have the wires hanging from the radio here, but apart from that, it's actually in relatively good order. Again, lots of these plastic trims, binnacles are so easy and cheap to replace, and actually the good thing is that this vehicle, which now needs kind of the cosmetic work done to it, if that's the route you actually intend to take, can quite easily be upgradable. So you could put the new pods with the sat navs and so much. But one thing that's a bit of a giveaway as to why this car is so special is this gearbox. It's actually from a 3.9 litre V8 Series 1 Disco, is running absolutely super smooth. The car's pretty quick for what it is. So long gone is the 4-cylinder potting little engine, and it's now got 3.9 litre V8 from a Disco 1 with an auto box. That manual box has now gone away, so it really does make for a lovely cruising machine. As you can see there, the roof lining, although nice and bulbous, I think that's actually been changed at some point. The seats then, bar a little split there, is actually in really good order. The back leather look coming through as well. Again, even things like these side steps, they're just so easy to come by, so cheap to order online, to import from the UK on eBay, or to pop down to Sharjah. There's so many breakers for Land Rovers here in the Gulf states. It's brilliant. Again, everything just starts as it should on these cars. They're bulletproof cars, and despite the cosmetic issues that do need addressing on this vehicle, even a complete respray or reupholstery is just not going to cost you what it would anywhere else in the world. We're very fortunate here in the UAE, and this is a vehicle that's now looking for a new owner to pass the torch onto. Again, all the major works have been done, the engine fitted, running absolutely beautifully, which we'll demonstrate for you in a couple of minutes. So it's going to be a vehicle that I'm sure is going to attract someone wanting to complete the project, take it on and maybe use parts they've already got, or maybe a club that's looking to take on a vehicle. Even, you know, the mat has still actually got the original plastic on it. It's a vehicle that was, you know, utilised well and taken care of. Unfortunately, it then got left aside and stood stationary for a while before it was taken over by the Landy group, who then had the task of fitting the engine and gearbox, which was done, but other projects beckon. So you've also got good expertise and contacts that will come with the purchase of the vehicle. They can direct you to where the body shops and best places to get work that needs doing on the car done. Again, it's a Defender, you know, they're built of good solid stuff, and although you have miscoloration and oddities like that, it's not a vehicle that has got a long way to go until it's really looking all the part. A lovely respraying, perhaps gunmetal grey or keeping it original would really do this vehicle justice. Even the rubbers and all the glass is intact. It's in pretty good condition, bar the superficial rusting, and of course the paintwork, which does need a respray. Again, we've only been quoted a couple of thousand for it, so it's not got a long way to go now for this vehicle to really be quite a special car for someone. Again, the wires you see hanging is just from the back of the stereo, and a cover's missing in the passenger footwell. But apart from that and the binnacle crack, it's genuinely not in bad order. Again, some carpeting and re-upholstery is required, but you can see the seats themselves in pretty fair condition. Again, we will fire her up for you just to ensure. See the running, the worst of the rust actually is running on this windscreen line, which is obviously quite apparent, but again, because it's isolated, it's quite a easy fix for any body shop to really take hold and work out. Now it's going to be rather tricky for me to try and do this with one hand, so I may just lay the phone down for a quick second and you'll get a shot of. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this presentation for this Land Rover Defender. It's obviously part 2 of the presentation, just demonstrating the engine itself that has been fitted. As you can see, the engine bay may need cosmetically a lick of paint, but apart from that, the vehicle itself is in engine mechanics with a huge air filter. Really does make for a great, super silky, smooth noise. Came out of a very reliable Series 1 Land Rover Defender, but this has now got the auto gearbox that's come through, and the 3.9 litre V8 really does do this Defender justice. Gonna jump in and turn over the vehicle, and it's a celebratory moment for me too, as this is actually the first time that even I've done this. So there it goes, everything kind of comes up to temperature as required, and you really do have a very nice sounding engine. I'll drop the glass here, maybe I'll just pop on the gas a little, and hopefully that engine note can come through. You can see the engine's running absolutely sweet. Sounds silky smooth, really one of the nicest D1 engines we actually managed to find as well, from a very reliable source. And the engine then in very good order. No oil, no overheating, no water being taken from the car itself. Not quite sure if you're going to be able to hear the burble coming from this V8, but and a good sign there is that it's spitting out water, so it's obviously showing you that the engine's coming through seriously nice and clean mechanically wise. It's a vehicle that really does need a bit of finishing off, but all in all, it's a car that is of an iconic status, has a huge following, and with that awesome engine is really going to make someone proud. Do it justice, buy it, finish off the bodywork, maybe chuck in a nice stereo and some re-upholstery, spend a couple of thousand, and you're going to have an absolutely iconic vehicle here in the UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this presentation on this Defender from Land Rover County Edition 110, presented to you, of course, exclusively by AUTOEMOTIONAL.